Welcome to this mindful self-care yoga practice. And today we're going to do a very nice practice to take care of our feet. Sometimes we don't realize how important our feet are in comparison with the rest of the body. So if we have any discomforts, any knots, anything that feels a little bit off around the foot, it can definitely be a repercussion of what might feel in the joints, in the ankle joints, the knee joints, the hip joints, and even the shoulders, and believe it or not, all the way to the neck. And so let's just start taking care of our body from the foundations of our feet. So for this practice, I'm going to do my best to minimize the use of props because I might understand that you might not have them, and I just want to make sure this class is accessible to you. So we're going to use our knuckles, and we're going to use our fingers, and we're going to put some pressure, a little bit of myofascia release on the sole of your feet, so that way we can then do a little bit of a little flow and feeling more grounded through the feet. So I really hope you enjoy the practice. Let's go ahead and start. Find your comfortable seated position. And I want you to grab your right foot, and you're going to bring your right thumb into the arch of your right foot. And you're going to gently massage it up and down. It's almost like you are exploring, and you might feel some knots in there, and you might feel sensitivity as you explore the arch of your foot, as you just put some gentle pressure with your thumb in there. And just notice, right? There's sometimes we feel stuff in here that we didn't realize it was a little sensitive. And then start rubbing that finger in the center of your foot, all the way from the center to up. All right. And then what we're going to do here, I want you to bring both hands, like the index and the thumb. You're going to do some pressure into the ball of your foot. So index is in the top of your foot and the thumb is on the back of your foot. Bring in some pressure into the ball of your foot, and you can put some pressure and then kind of do some small circles. And just breathe. Now bring your fingers to put some pressure at the base of each of your toes and just gently massage them on circles, just kind of feeling those tiny, they seem fragile, but imagine they're so strong. They support our entire body weight here. And then continue to give yourself some gentle pressure circles in each one of your toes. Okay, good. Now I want you to interlace your fingers with your toes. So for the ladies, it feels like you're doing a manicure, you know, when you put your stuff to separate your toes. And for the guys, probably this feels a little awkward, but that's the idea. This is to help you to spread your toes. So you're interlacing your fingers with your toes, and you're going to gently move the toes up and down with your hands. Okay, this is such an important practice. We barely take time to do our feet, and I feel like as yogi, as you know, we use our feet a lot, so they also deserve the love and attention, just like our wrists, just like our shoulders, and just like our hips. Good, and then release that, and I want you to kind of make a fist without curling your fingers too much. It's just a gentle wrist, and you're going to use the knuckles of your hand. So for this one, use the left hand, and you're going to press the knuckles into the ball of your foot, put some pressure into it, and slide all the way down into the heel, right? And you can do this very slowly. And you're perhaps are going to give yourself some space. You might find sensitivity for sure. Just do that again. You might feel a lot of sensitivity perhaps on the arch of your foot, the middle of your foot. So just take one more round like this. Good. And then release. Now let's do that on the other foot. So we're going to bring the right thumb, and just, you can use both thumbs if that's all right. And just kind of put some pressure up and down around the arch. Notice if there is any knots, be gentle. you still want to add some pressure. So it might feel painful, but it's not painful like you are going to die. It feels a little bit painful, like discomfort, right? Because there is tension accumulated in here. Good. One more breath. And we're gonna bring those index and thumb and clip, right, the front and the back, and massage and circle the ball of your foot and the front of your foot, like right passing the toes. And that's gonna give you a little bit more, perhaps in my case, it gives me a little bit more of perception and appreciation for what the foot does in our bodies and how intrinsically connect. I think there is over, and I didn't review my notes, but I think there is over 100 bones that we have in our foot. Good. Now bring those fingers to the base of your toes, each one of them, and gently give them some nice massage. And then from the base of your toes, you're going to go all the way to the full, each one of them. Just give them some nice pressure. Like getting your own foot massage here. I will not recommend to use oils in your foot massage because you're going to get your yoga mat full of oil and you might slide. We want to have some traction there. Good. Now release that, and we're going to use that knuckles of the right hand from the base of your foot all the way down into the heel, nice and slow. Okay. So just give yourself there a moment to feel and allow the sensations to be just more like a self-awareness. Keep your breath flowing. Just a couple more. Good, and then we're gonna interlace our fingers in the toes, from the back, from the front, whatever works for you. Just really get in there. Now from there, you're just gonna gently move the toes up and back and forth. Good, now release that. We're gonna extend the legs in front of us. And what we're gonna do here, find your sitting bones, hands behind you, and you're gonna flex your feet. So really pointing the toes and notice how that engages some muscles on your leg. And then you're gonna flex as much as you can. So press the heels towards the front of your mat and your toes towards yourself. You're gonna feel the engagement of your quads. So there's 3 points of way to engage the leg muscles. 1, pointing, right? 2, flexing. And now I'm gonna introduce you to in between pointing and flexing. And what that is you're gonna press the ball of your foot. So this is the ball of your foot. That's the one that is gonna point forward, but your toes are flexing back. So it looks like this, all right? So point, flex, and in between. So your toes are really spreading out. And so the way each yogi decides to engage the legs throughout the practice is very personal. So for instance, when we're doing warrior 3 and you know you have to engage that elevated leg, and continue moving as I talk. When you're doing that warrior 3, elevating the back leg, sometimes we forget to engage that elevated leg, right? So some people pointing the feet is a good way for them to be mindful of the leg. For some people, flexing that foot, it helps them to feel more strong on the legs. And for other people, in the between, pressing the ball of the foot forward and the toes back is a better way for them to engage the legs. So today, I want you to explore which one of these 3 options works for you. Now we're gonna roll the ankle joints in here, and you're gonna do that in different directions. Trust me, after this practice, you're going to feel so much balance because your feet are such an important component for how the rest of the body feels. Good. Let's do that one more time. Pointing, really pointing. And flexing, really, really flexing. Feel all the muscles. And then the between. I'm going to call this the between, where your ball of the foot is pressing forward, but your toes are back, is spreading the toes, always spreading the toes. Good. Then release there for a moment. Good. Let's transition straight into our downward facing dog. And from downward facing dog, we're going to focus more on the toes and the feet. So please bend the knees and keep the chest and the spine lengthened. So as you bend the knees, bend the right knee even more. And as you bring the heel high, you're going to really feel that stretch of your right toes. And then switching side, drop the right heel into the floor so much. You're going to press through the ball of your right foot and lift the right toes off the mat. Keep that, bend that left knee and bring the heel so high on top of the ball of your left foot that your left toes are feeling the extension. So your right toes are flexing and the left toes are extending. One more breath, switching sides. So now dropping the heel as close as you can to the ground on the left. Mine is not touching the floor, by the way. I'm pressing more of the weight into my ball of the foot of the left. My left toes are off the ground and my right heel is lifting so high that I'm stretching my toes. Good. Now release and find your downward facing dog for just a couple breaths in stillness. Now keep pushing the floor away with your hands, engage your abdomen and keep lifting your sitting bones high up. Kick your right leg back and drop the toes on the floor so you're pressing the front of your right foot into the floor. So you might feel this stretch more in the front of your shin bone. And then we're going to switch side. Release your right foot. Kick the top of the left foot into the floor and put some weight into it. Let's do that one more time. Flipping your right. Pressing the top of your right foot into the mat. Stay strong on your upper back. Release left foot now. Good. And then slowly walk your hands and your feet to the center of your mat. And then micro bend the knees. Keep the fingertips on the floor. You're going to rock back and forth. And so here, lifting the heels, pressing the heels back, lifting the toes and the ball of the foot. And just kind of rocking back and forth. Using the core strength of your core. And pressing the inner thighs to help you lift up so you can allow the spine to have more space to forward fold. Just continue rocking back and forth a couple more rounds. We start to feel the body weight in the feet. Spread your toes as wide as you can. Good. Then slowly release and come all the way up to standing and reach your arms overhead. And then exhale, palms together in the center of the heart. We'll continue working on the toes. Inhale, reach your arms up. Lift your heels and press through the ball of the foot and really squeeze the heel off the floor. As you exhale, release the hands by your side, drop the heels down, lean back into the heels and lift the toes off the floor. We're going to do that 5 rounds. Exhale, lean forward into your tippy toes. Start rising the heels, arms overhead. As you exhale, gently hands drop down along with the heels, lean back, lifting the toes off the ground. All right, so that was 1. Let's do 4 more. Inhale, lift up. Nice and slow. Slow gives you more control. Exhale slowly, bring yourself back down, lift the toes. Inhale up. Keep your abdomen strong. Exhale, slowly back down. Inhale up. Exhale, back down. Inhale up. This is the last one. Exhale, back down. Very nice. Give yourself a nice hug on the right knee. So you're going to lean your weight into the left foot. So spread your toes, lengthen through the spine, and hugging the right knee into the chest. Bring your right foot in circles of the ankle joint, rolling. Flex and point your foot in here. So as you continue nourishing your right foot, your left foot is building strength as you stand on one foot. Good, and then release. We're gonna do that on the other side. As you shift your weight into the right foot, spread your toes, leaning a little bit in the center of the foot, and flex your left knee. Point and flex your left foot. Move it in circles, spread your toes. One more breath. And then slowly release, nice and slow. Let's do one sun salutation just to connect movement with breath. It just feels nice. Come back to the top of your mat. Take an inhale, arms overhead. As you exhale, gently forward fold. Inhale, lean into your toes, lift the heels, a variation, right? We're focusing on the toes. Exhale, drop the heels down and bring your chest halfway up. Let's just do that 2 more rounds. Exhale, forward fold, lean forward, lift the heels up. Exhale, release heels down, come halfway up, but lean into your toes. Exhale, forward fold, lifting the heels. Exhale, release the heels, toes up. Chest halfway up. Bend the knees, drop the hands into the floor, step back into downward facing dog. So sun salutation A is one that if you choose to engage your feet and your toes, they are going to get some really nice massage. So let's do it, the first one together. Take an inhale, come into your plank. So from downward facing dog, pay attention to the heels, right? The heels are dropping closer to the floor. So when we start lifting ourselves into plank, those heels are lifting, lifting, lifting. So they are really 90 degrees on top of the ball of the foot. So if you need to walk the hands slightly forward or your feet slightly back, take a look at the screen and notice my heels. They are right on top of the ball of the foot. So downward facing dog here, we're lifting the heels. So notice how your toes are here, really getting that stretch as you settle the pelvis halfway. Now here, as you go into Chaturanga, you gotta really continue pushing your body forward. Now look, we are at the top of the feet. Gently drop into Chaturanga and drop the top of your feet, dropping the knees. Now you're in Cobra. Notice all that work that we did with the toes. Now from here, you can roll to the top of your foot as you lift the pelvis, just like we did on those downward facing dog, pressing the top of your feet, right? You're gonna roll the toes back. And that's where we come stronger in our toes. Just like we become stronger in our fingers, we become stronger in our shoulders. That's how we become stronger on the toes. If that felt awkward, that felt discomfort, it's natural because you're not used to it, but like everything, it takes practice. So let's just do 2 more rounds. Don't overthink it and allow the toes to roll. We're just literally rolling the foot. Take an inhale in dog, drag the heels down, pressing through the ball of the foot, pressing all the toes. As you inhale, rising the heels, feel the stretch of your toes, find your plank. Shifting forward into Chaturanga, tippy toes. And then roll to the top of your feet for up dog or cobra. And then press the top of your feet to help you lift yourself up and roll the toes back into downward facing dog. All right, I know if you're not used to practicing like this, I totally understand if this is really tough for your toes. Do what you can and maybe practice this class again. Let's do it one more time. Take an inhale, dog. Really sink into the heels. They don't have to touch the floor. As you inhale, rise them. Find your plank. Settle plank, inhale. As you exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Roll the toes into your up dog or cobra, pressing the top of your feet. And then exhale, lift yourself up and back, downward facing dog, rolling your feet. Drop the knees down, keep them apart, big toes touch. Here, another stretch for the toes, right? We're sitting into the heels and you're feeling that stretch in the front of the ankle joints, right? So the top of your foot, your toes, are grounding you to the floor as you press them a little bit more down into the floor. Just take 3 rounds of breath in here. Nice and slow through the nose. One more breath. Good, and then press your palms up. Walk the hands back. We're going to extend our legs in front of us. Very good practice today. This is not an easy practice because our feet are very sensitive, but it's going to become stronger and stronger the more you bring awareness into your foot, and the rest of the body will fall into place. Hug the knees into your chest. Close your eyes. Gently rock side to side. And let your foot just rest here. Let's do some gentle twists because it feels good in the spine. So we're going to open our arms like a cactus. Shoulders and elbows same distance. And then take a moment here to squeeze your inner thighs a little bit more. And what we're going to do here, we're going to drop both knees all the way to the right. And try to bring those knees a little higher up, close to your chest. Anchor yourself through that left shoulder and bring your gaze to the left. Just breathe in for a moment here. Settle in. Come back to center, engaging the core with your legs together and switch inside. So we're going to ground ourselves through both shoulders, right elbow into the floor, and squeeze both knees to the left. And bring them closer to your chest. Your gaze looks over to the right. One more breath in here. Good. As you exhale, gently bring yourself back up. Release your hands by your side. Extend both legs straight up to the sky. Roll the ankle joints. Point and flex. And find your middle. Let's do that again. Flex and point, and you can do one foot at a time. Move them in circles, switch direction, and find your middle, which means you're pressing through the ball of your foot and your toes are back. It's almost like you're pretending to be in heels. And for the guys, just try your best to imagine you are wearing heels. Nothing wrong about it. It's just an expression for you to get an awareness of the action of the foot. Good. Then release the feet on the ground. Come into Baddha Konasana, touching all the toes into each other. Feel the touch of each other. Pressing the heel, pressing the ball of your foot. Your entire foot is pressing into each other. And just notice how that feels, letting the hips relax, the inner thighs relax. Place your hands anywhere that feels gently relaxing. I'm gonna stay here for 5 breaths. Close your eyes and tap into that breath. And just letting that freshness that you might feel around your joints, on your feet and your ankles to be digested with the other joints in the body. Everything starts on the foot. And if you are familiar with traditional Chinese medicine, we have some pressure points on the foot that seems to be connected to some organs in the body. So take this moment to settle, to let go, to let your feet to enjoy this practice. Just one more breath, inhale. And as you exhale, bring your hands under thighs, close your knees, and then come into your comfortable seated position. Getting close to end this practice in a different way, a gentle, brief reflection. Cross your legs, sitting nice and tall. And just close your eyes. Start notice your breath gently coming in through the nose and out of the nose. Bring your awareness into your feet and just feel a sense of relaxation. Bring your palms together or rest them on your chest, gently bowing the head. Infinite gratitude for practicing today. I really hope your feet are feeling a little bit more awakened, a little bit more balanced. And please feel free to practice this class as often as you like. And I'm going to do my best to leave in the comments of this video, once it's loaded into the on-demand collection, a few facts to learn about your foot, and so you might have a little bit more appreciation. Until the next class, thank you so much for being part of the community. Infinite gratitude.